Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Taking thousands of fragrances, whittling it down to 10. Realistically, nobody would do that unless like an earthquake hit. Knock on fake wood. Oh shit! Oh no, it's good, we're good. But that's what I'm attempting to do today, taking the Fragrance collection, specifically the designers, and whittling it down to my 10 current faves. With some caveats, I'm not including Dior Homme Intense because it's too obvious. I'm not including Drakkar Noir because it's too obvious, and also Drakkar Noir is so cheap. I'd buy like 100 bottles of that stuff and, you know, barely put it in. No, it's actually pretty expensive. It's not that cheap, but it is cheap. All of these Fragrance will be linked in the description. Let us begin. We begin where all good Fragrance collections begin. Acqua di Gio, or as everybody liked to say back in the day, Acqua di Gio. Yes, Acqua di Gio. It's the best. The one that I'm going with, and check out this honking bag of sticks. The one that I'm going with is Acqua di Gio Parfum. For one good reason, it has a magnetic cap. Good enough for me. Well, no, the actual reason is because it still gives me that Acqua di Gio flair, that flavor, that taste that I so desire, because back in the day, I was a massive Acqua di Gio fanboy. It was one of my first signature scents. And this one still has that vibe to it. You know, when you smell it, you know right away that's Acqua di Gio, but it's done in a more modern fashion. The performance is amped up compared to the Eau de Toilette, so you get better projection, better longevity. You can use it in cool weather because it adds a little more density, a little more depth to it as it dries down. Little incense puff in there, that touch of smoke makes it stand out and smell better when it gets cold outside. But then obviously, still an Acqua di Gio. So it's still fresh, it's clean. There's a nice little bit of minerality in there. Spring, summer, obviously, you're set, daytime or evening, doesn't really matter. And I gotta say, when it comes to like picking just 10, I seem to gravitate a lot more towards fall, wintertime fragrances. So I'll like be gathering them up and I'm like, I gotta have this one, gotta have that one. And I'll look and it'll be like 9 fragrances for fall and winter and then this. And I just go, that's not very balanced, is it? And I have to start going in and changing stuff around and all that, but the one constant is Acqua di Gio. And so I'm going with the Parfum. The next one that I would get would be the Profondo Eau de Parfum. So this one and that one, those are like my go-to. And then I guess after that, I would probably get the Eau de Toilette just because I really like that one too, because that's like, you know, the one that started it off for me as far as Acqua di Gio goes. Maybe I'd get that new Eau de Parfum Intense that smells kind of like Absolu. You see how this ends up? And now I'm just buying like the whole line of Acqua di Gio. But the one I would start with, this one. The next fragrance up is the One Eau de Parfum. And this is the new iteration, the new version, since if you go to a store, that's what you would find nowadays, like Macy's or Sephora or whatever. Atomizer, a little bit better, improved. It's kind of interesting. It's not like a full-on pressurized atomizer, but it's like halfway there. It's really good. I appreciate that. They've also slightly reworked the presentation style. You don't have that gradient with the Eau de Parfum now. It's just kind of like, essentially looks like a deeper version of the Eau de Toilette, kind of. That's how this one looks now. And the deal with this one was Dolce & Gabbana, you know, taking a lot of time off from the One. They were concentrating obviously on K, which I don't really like a whole lot. I know some of you out there love K, and if you do, wear that stuff out. You know, it doesn't matter if I don't wear it or I don't like it. If you like it, it makes you happy, wear it. That's the most important thing with any fragrance. But yeah, Dolce & Gabbana was really concentrating on that. To an extent on their like light blue flankers and Devotion, and the One just got kicked by the wayside. It was very sad. It's like going down the street and there's just like an abandoned puppy. And you're just like, that's the One right there. We need to adopt that. And D&G realized the error of their ways. They went to that poor little fragrance puppy and they said, you know, we gotta help this out. We have to be good people. And then they came out with this, and also the One Parfum. One of the big things with this fragrance is it's supposed to have much more longevity. Yes, it's supposed to be quite long compared to the original. That's the big hang up with the original, the One Eau de Parfum. A lot of people unhappy, so they didn't last long enough, you know, just weak, you know? And this fixes that, or that's what it says. And in side by side, it is stronger. It does last longer. It's got a really nice tobacco note in there. It has a touch of orange off the top, cardamom as well. It's still warm, sexy, a little sweet, just like the original. And I think one of my favorite things about this is it came with like a little card, a very small card on the inside of the box. And also on the outside, it talked about the performance and everything. But It had this little like statistic where they were like, hey, we tested this. 97% of people say it leaves a long-lasting scent trail. So obviously at Dolce & Gabbana, they were very up in arms about making sure people know that this is better as far as how long it lasts. 97% agree. That's way better than those commercials where it's like 3 out of 4 dentists agree and stuff like that. It's only 75%. They got 97. They said 97 anyway. I don't think there's any real way to actually call them on that and test it independently, but that's what they said. Trust me, bro. The next scent I gotta keep, why? This is the Eau de Parfum. Now for a long while, maybe I would have gone One Eau de Parfum, the all blacked out bottle, the original One Eau de Parfum, but that one is beginning to get harder to find. For a while after the discontinuation, you could still scoop that up, you know, if you looked at discounters and stuff. But the last time that I looked for a bottle, it was sold out everywhere. So I'm assuming it'll probably come back into stock here or there, but it's getting iffy. And why EDP is just kind of like the go-to, you know, the easy one, the one everybody knows, the most popular in the whole lineup, but it's popular for a reason. It works. Now we all know the deal with this one. Apple off the top, nice, fresh, sweet. Also has sage in there as it dries down, amber woods as well. Talking year-round usability here, doesn't really matter the season. Middle of summer during the day, you know, if you go really heavy, maybe it comes across too sweet. That's the only potential drawback because the performance is not so bad here. It's pretty nice. And so if you do go really heavy, you do run that risk of it being just too sugary. Outside of that, good to go. Huge compliment puller. Love the versatility. And just to my own taste, I know, you know, a lot of people will disagree here. I like Y the most for my own like wearing purposes compared to Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel. Now I will say Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum is the most versatile blue fragrance that's possibly ever been made, but I like the sweetness that this one has, so. Codes. Hey, check it out. Here's some codes. Do you see that? It's insane. How did they get here on the screen? What? There's somebody behind my computer screen making things pop up that aren't here physically while I'm shooting this? What the what? This is like the Matrix. Yeah, there's all kinds of different coupon codes here that you can use if you shop at stores, and I'm assuming you do. Gotcha. Yeah. You thought you could hide that from me. But anytime you shop at any of these fine fragrance establishments, look at those names, look at those codes, use those and save some cash. They're also linked in the description. The next scent is none other than Luna Rossa Black. I love Luna Rossa Black. I love it. I'm not terribly confident that it's gonna be around, you know, 3 or 4 years from now, but I still love it just the same. Whew, this stuff rules. And the reason this rules is because it reminds me a little of these discontinued fragrances, Midnight in Paris, which used to be dirt cheap, and Bulgari Black, which used to be dirt cheap. Unfortunately, both of those are discontinued, have been for years, but this is kind of like the spiritual successor to those. Got a good amount of tonka in here. The way the tonka hits is gonna be nice, lightly creamy, sweet, somewhat rubbery in how it comes across in a very appealing way. Mysterious dark with a splash of fresh spice. It is fantastic. Really good for an evening out. It is more of a, I guess you would say, specialized fragrance. This is more like fall, winter evenings, potentially a date night fragrance or more formal fragrance. I wear it casually. I wear it whenever because I just think it smells awesome. But if you were to smell this and you wanted to kind of like put it into specific times and seasons, that's when it would be for. This is not a hyper versatile scent like this or this, but it is one that I want to have. And so I will. Thank you. The next one is a newer release. It's L'Homme Ideal Cologne Forte by Guerlain. So the deal with this one is essentially, it is a limited edition. So it's not gonna be available for long. And when it comes to this brand, this line, they mean it when they say limited editions. Some brands don't. Some brands don't care. They will say, yes, it's limited, buy it now, and you can still find it 4 years later. This brand, yeah, it's done for, okay. This one is walking the green mile. It is up there on the gallows with the noose around its neck. It didn't do anything wrong, but the brand was like, sorry, bud. We're gonna put you out for just a little bit of time. You're gonna be wandering around, you know, in the fields, gallivanting, eating grass. Oh, how cute. And then Guerlain is gonna walk up behind it one day and just be like, sucks. So Cologne Forte, this one is gonna fall right in line with the other discontinued fragrances in this line, the ones that came before it. Things like Cool, or the original Cologne, or Platine Privé, like these are the ghosts of Christmas past. They used to exist. This one still does for now. But this is gonna be kind of following along these fragrances right here. If you like these, you will probably like this. This one is supposed to be a meeting of icy and hot. So like the media pictures have ice and fire. It's got a really nice brisk opening, very refreshing as it dries down. You have some warm spice that comes out, some cinnamon in there. Of course, the almond is gonna smell very similar to all these right here. But I really love this. I love this type of fragrance. To be honest, like these all share a lot in common. So they're not crazy different. It's just, I like it every time they put a little twist on it. And then I get sad when they kill it off. And then they bring out a new version like 2 years later and the whole cycle repeats. Because that's usually how the L'Homme Ideal line goes. It goes a release for fall and winter, a release for spring and summer, a release for fall and winter, a release for spring and summer, like each year. So since this one is fresher, the next release should be one for fall and winter. Invictus Victory Elixir by Rabanne up next, which this has a cool felt new bottle, which I'm not gonna buy because I'm not gonna rebuy it just for a new bottle style, but it looks like that. I have the old one before it took Ozempic that looks like this. Which one is better? This version. I'm not saying that just because I have this one and not the other one. Now Victory Elixir is kind of interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. This is a scent that every time I smell it, I absolutely love this stuff. Vanilla forward, kind of smells like you take bits and pieces of a bunch of other fragrances like this one or that one and blend it together. Well, I mean, it smells like a few fragrances put together, I guess, but it smells awesome. It's very vanilla forward, has this nice kind of effervescence to it when you spray it on, a great spicy scent profile as well. And it even reminds me a little bit of Pure Excess, even down to the color scheme, which I really, really liked. Pure Excess and Pure Excess Night. They didn't really catch on, but they were good, at least in my opinion, which is worth nothing. So it's one of these fragrances where when I smell it, I fall in love with it all over again. And if I haven't smelled it for a while, I think, was it really that good as I'm remembering it? And then I go back and smell it. Yeah, it was. And the next fragrance is this Uomo Born in Roma Intense. And in my head, these two are almost linked together because I remember getting them in a similar time frame. So I was wearing this one and then wearing that one and just like back and forth. I just love both of these. This one is also vanilla forward, but in a really different way compared to that. I mean, similar in the sense that they both have a lot of vanilla, but different in everything else kind of around that vanilla. This one has lavender, very fresh, clean, sweet. Then as it dries down, vetiver. And the vetiver here is more of a modern woodiness, keeping in that clean scent profile, you know, not going super dry or grassy or earthy or anything like that. It has just a really nice woody tinge to it after you get out of that opening and mid. It's a fragrance that I would wear year-round, daytime or evening. Performance is there. Only potential issue with this one in terms of when you would wear it is the same as One Eau de Parfum over here, middle of summer. It can get really sweet with the way the vanilla comes across, but outside of that, you're golden. And this is one that smells really good up close, but somehow even better in the air. This is one of those ones where as you're moving around, you catch whiffs of it. It is friggin' amazing. I love that stuff. Gonna follow that up with this stupid little rinky-dinky baby bottle of Polo 67 Extreme. Can't even hold it, it's so stupid and small. So this one I bought from Europe. It should be out at some point, I would assume, in the US, I mean, because it is Ralph Lauren, but. So this right here is surprisingly good for me. I liked the Eau de Parfum version more than the Eau de Toilette, talking Polo 67. I like this one more than the Eau de Parfum. In the opening, big blast of pineapple and citrus, fresh, fruity, brisk, sweet. Also has caramel and solar notes. Sounds weird, but it works. The solar notes just give you this warmth to the fragrance. It's not really like sunscreen to me, doesn't come across that way. You have a clean aromatic vibe around the edge of the scent, a little bit of leather as it dries down. Don't worry though, the leather is not harsh. It's not like a dark leather. Longevity is good, projection is good. It's the best performer of the Polo 67 lineup. Maybe not an absolute monster off my skin, but it's gonna get the job done. The versatility is there. Daytime, nighttime, any season, doesn't matter. And typically Ralph Lauren fragrances, after they've been out for a little while, they hit discounters, the price drops down, at least a decent amount. And so as this one does get rolled out everywhere and that price finally creeps once it hits all the discounters, That's one you need to check out if you're looking for something you can wear just whenever you want. Assuming that you don't want to roll with just like Y or Sauvage or something. All right, I got to include this. Boss Bottled, Absolu. Yeah. This is my favorite Hugo Boss of any of the Bosses. Atomizer is trash, hate it. Cap is trash, weighs like absolutely nothing. I guess technically it's functional, so like, ish. Bottle looks good, like the bottle looks nice, but everything else about the presentation is kind of cheap. But the fragrance smells awesome. So with this, we are talking PDM Carlisle vibes, right in that wheelhouse. So yeah, it has a higher end kind of scent profile to it, not your more typical vanilla forward designer. Now there's some nice sweetness in here. There's a nice warm aspect. That's gonna be more so from patchouli. It's not a hippie patchouli, like not that kind. It's more leaning almost lightly chocolatey alongside a nice, rich, resinous warmth and sweetness. Little incense in here, leather as well, some woodiness as it dries down. This is straight up a fall, winter time evening scent. You could wear this to events, wear it to more formal occasions, even wear it to a date, depending on how old you are, where you're going, what you're doing, all that stuff. But it absolutely will have you standing out, as great performance. This stuff rules. Now we're at the final fragrance, and it was between a few different ones. Because all of these fragrances to me kind of overlap as far as when you would wear them. We're talking Stronger With You, absolutely, the Most Wanted Parfum, and then the one that I went with, which is this Scandal Absolu. Like all of those have the same like gourmand-esque lean, you know what I mean? Like good performance, nighttime, date night, stuff like that. But this one I really, really love. I just go back to this all the time. I like it even more than the new Scandal Elixir, which is also good, but this one, this is the one. So it's got Mirabelle Plum off the top. Gives you a nice different take on a fruity opening instead of your more typical bergamot or apple or something like that. A little more depth to it, and then has chestnut in here as well. Sandalwood is the final note, really boring, 3-note, no breakdown. It has like this really well done, like playful, but also a little bit classy, a little bit grown scent profile. So it's lightly candied, almost the way that it hits, but not like a sugar coma type of candy. Sexy, attention grabbing, great performance. That stuff is fantastic. Gonna be really hard to beat that one in the future for that line, because when you hit kind of a peak like that, you know, it's, oof. A lot of times it's just all downhill from there. Like I said, Scandal Elixir is good, that's great. So there it is. That's my 10, at least as of this millisecond. Realistically, again, there's so many other fragrances that I would buy, that I would scoop up, that I would have to get, but this is a really good jumping off point for what I would want right now. Let me know in the comments what you would go for, like your first 3 that you would have to scoop up. Thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.